Peace and love. Sister Nzinga here from Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga. Where we, on our YouTube channel, we are helping people to work on their purpose, which will help them emancipate themselves from mental slavery. Because none but ourselves can free our minds. And where we have created an acronym with the word THINK. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. So first, let me thank you for all my subscribers, my listeners, the ones that care and share, and especially those that comment. So here we are again today with our Talk About a Tuesday. So what we're going to talk about today? Well, last week we talked about the 4 agreements. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that you really did go and check out what the 4 agreements were. And comment back on me after you checked it out to let me see, what you thought about it and if you thought those principles would be helpful to you as a person. Because, like I said, we're here to help you and to encourage you to emancipate yourself from mental slavery, because some of us don't realize that there is a slavery system going on. There's no more shackles, but there is a slavery system going on. And it's just so highly engineered that, we don't realize that we are caught up in this slavery situation. So one of the most important factors that we have to do as a people is to start being so mindful about where we spend our money. Because you better believe, ask black businesses. I mean, sometimes if you have a shop where women shop, because, for clothing, bags, accessories, things like that. So you may get people outside of your race to come in and shop in your store. But for the most part, when it comes to services and other things that we do, you're not going to get a Chinese man to patronize you, Italian man, a Jewish man, And sometimes even it's hard enough even getting our own to get to them patronize us, because, I had a business for 38 years. And I'm grateful. I had a good business going on, and I'm grateful for everyone that did support me. But just being around people talking about, how the difficulties that we have about our own people supporting ourselves. But I know we're coming around, and we're going to make a difference, and we're going to do things better. So I like to always just talk positive about it, and it does happen. But they definitely do come out to support, and so you have to really do the things to make the people come into your store too. So it's not just because you're a black business, you think everybody black will come and shop with you. But the most important part is about us, where we spend our money, because they just count on us to be their cash cows. I know I mentioned this before, but it's really so important when you're working on emancipating yourself from mental slavery. What you need to realize that you're working on yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And, spiritually, you have to get to the point where you realize that, you have everything that you need. And so we have to stop buying, how many pair of earrings can you get? How many pair of sneakers can you buy? Because sneakers is a hot thing. It's ridiculous that sneakers, when I was coming up, sneakers didn't cost that much, but now sneakers cost more than the shoes. That's crazy. I mean, so these are the kind of things that you have to release yourself from the mental slavery. So, do you value a pair of sneakers better than you value a pair of shoes that are made out of leather? When you can look up and know that these things are made in factories, back in other countries somewhere, and they're made very cheaply. But after people put their names on them, they charge it just because their name is on it. I mean, these are things that we have to think about. Think about where you're spending your money, and think about, well, what am I spending my money on? And what is the value? What is the real value? The value to me. I don't tell my wear sneakers. I mean, I'm not trying to anybody to be what I do what I do. But I just feel that this is one of the things that I just don't participate in, because it don't make no sense the way they charge for sneakers. And so I just refuse to give them my money. I don't need sneakers that often. I use my sneakers when I work out. Other than that, I'm not wearing sneakers every day. I'm going to put a pair of shoes on my feet, something leather. I mean, well, now shoes, leather. Well, I live in and out of warm weather most of the times. And so everything's made out of rubber. So, so we have to look at these things and to understand that, we have to be more conscious about us building instead of buying. I heard a nice lecture. This guy was talking about he was talking about the fact that we buy before we build. Because we want to buy this, and we always the ones with the name brand stuff. I don't understand how you think just having a name brand thing is going to make you do anything to you, for you. I mean, it gives you a look, but what are you really, is that, can you really afford that look? Are you paying more for this thing? And do you have the important things that you need in your life? Do you have life insurance? Do you have, you know, college fund for your children? Those are the things that are more important. We need to be spending money on. It's not collecting things, because, as I always say, the most important things in life are not things. So the money part is so important when you start to emancipate yourself. Be mindful of what you're buying. And I always gotta always talk about be mindful of what you're eating. Oh my gosh. These are things that are very, very important. So you have to get off the wheel and stop just doing what everybody else does. It's okay to be you, because nobody can be you but you. Nobody can be you but you. And so want to be unique. Your unique self, your authentic self. I had a sign in my house when my children was growing up. It says, to think of the person you want to be is to waste the beautiful person that you are. So we have to be thinking about these kind of things. And I want to talk to you about this video that I saw. And I'm not saying that that we need to treat everyone equal, because we can't, because we're in this world and we've been living in this world for a while. And there's a system already in place that makes you think that, that white is good and black is bad. Even when it comes to certain things or animals or certain things you wear for occasions. I mean, this thing they made up, but you need to understand that shit was made up by a person. This has nothing to do with it. So this guy was saying that, okay, if you get you a white can, a black can, a red can, a yellow can, brown can, and you fill them all up with water. Okay, and then you put the top on them so you can't really see what's inside. And so now when you look at the things, it's water inside, but now when you look at it, it's like, okay, what do you see? You see color. You see red, black, brown, red, yellow, green. Not green, but as far as people's color. And so, but when you drink it, the man said, when you drink it, what do you find out? He says, all effing water. And that's really what we are. These spacesuits that we wear, it was someone who came up with the label of black and white and Chinese and we were all one. We're all one under God's eye. And like I said, I'm not trying to talk about us like, forgetting about, our issues, our concerns, and our unity and our collective works and responsibility. I'm not trying to say that at all, but but the point that I am making is that you're not inferior. You're not inferior. This society makes you think that, that this people are up here and we down here and so forth and so on. But that's not true. This is labels that people have made. The same person that made up the word bicycle, not the same person, but the same system that made up the word bicycle, or tent, or, table, fork, spoon. These things that people just made up. And they tell you that that's what it is. I mean, you can call it whatever you want if you want to. As a matter of fact, I know a family. When I was in Belize one time. There's a family here. It's a sister and brother. They created their own language. So when they talk to their children, they talk to their children in the language that they have created. So anybody can create something like that, And so these labels that we have on ourselves are strictly labels, Even the thing that called fat, tall, thin, These are names that were made up for someone to think to identify and to determine this is what this thing is, this what this person is. If you look like this, you're that. If you look like that, you're that. I mean, so we don't have to accept them labels. And so we don't have to accept, they created the word ghetto. If we look it up, ghetto was an experiment that was done a long time ago, and now, it's in place in every black community. And it has a purpose, and it's very intentional. So the point I'm making is that, we're not inferior to anyone. So when they say, the black man and what kind of thing, because, our hearts are the same. We bleed the same. I won't say our hearts are the same, because now over time, our hearts are not the same, because these people, white people, some of them are wicked. Some of them are just straight cold wicked. And it's not our nature, and they just are fearful that once we reach back into the great people that we were, come back into our own stands of being kings and queens, that we're going to do something like that. We would do to them what they've done to us. But it's not our nature. It's not our nature to do people like this. No way in the hell that we would go and just hang somebody from a tree. It was no way we would just shoot somebody just because they are a certain color. That's not who we are as a people. Now, yes, living in this society, there are some of us that's foolish and get caught up and they see the shit on TV and they really do it. But there's a lot of things that we didn't used to do as a people. Well, black people didn't used to do that. And it's because of who we are. Our souls are so nice. When you see on TikTok and you see all these things where these guys are coming up to people saying, hey, can I borrow $1 to get a bus? Or can you give me $2? I just want to get this for my mom. Or, something, I left my wallet in the car. When you see a lot of those things, there are black people who are saying, oh, yeah, here, I give you $1. It's us, because this is who we are. This is our generosity. And so our nature is not of evil, of no goodness and negativity. We are positive people because we're electrified. We have a, what's the word I want to say? We have, just vibrations. I won't get too deep into all that kind of stuff, but we have vibrations, and we feel. And oh my gosh, I'm just saying that you're not inferior just because of the color of your skin. And even amongst even the black people, they pit the dark skin against the light skin, and that's all over the place, even in other countries, and even in like India, the dark people in India, oh, they mistreat the dark people in India versus light skinned ones, and they could be in the same family. But it's this image in their head about dark skinned people being bad people. But we're not. So we're not inferior. Because inside we're all the same. God created us all the same. So again, I'm not saying that, we need to just forget about, the things that the way the society has treated us. Just treat each individual as an individual cases. You can't say that all these people are bad, all these people are bad. It don't work that way. And that's not the way the reality is. So, please work on emancipating yourself from mental slavery, because none but ourselves can free our minds. And thank you again for those that listen, subscribe, and share, comment. Please continue to comment. I wanted to ask and encourage more people to comment, please. People pass by. I mean, it could be, as long as you are I don't mind a critique. If there's something you say, suggestions, something I did say that wasn't good, you didn't like, you have comments about it. So I'm open to that also. So not just, I want you to just say, oh, everything is good, because, that's not the way life goes. Everything's not good. You have to have that there's good and there's bad in everything. So you have to have that in order to have a balance. So I just want to say thank you again to everyone. Thank you for listening. Thanks for caring and sharing. And I'm going to end it right there. So think it ain't illegal yet. Think it ain't illegal yet. Also use that word think as taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. All right, my family. I love you guys. God loves you and so do I. Peace and love. Sister Zinga signing out.